Hi all, welcome back. So in my last video we had a look at the Sixsixone Reset full face helmet. Today we're going to be looking at knee pads, purely because in my opinion, next to the helmet, I think they're probably the most important bit of kit. I'll go into a bit about that later on. It's more to do with what I look for when I'm actually looking at knee pads. Today we're specifically talking about the Sixsixone Comp all-mountain knee pad. About €50, which is a decent price for decent set of knee pads. Nice soft knee pad, lots of flexibility in them, so we'll go into that a bit more now in a minute. I bought these ones here to replace my old set. Again, my old ones were the Sixsixone Comp. I actually have them here. 6 years on, still doing pretty solid, no major damage. A little bit old and worn, but figured it was time to upgrade, so I went for same again, just newer version of it. One of the main differences are that the pad is a little bit softer. It's not as solid as this one here. What I found really was that this actually just gave a little bit more movement, especially with the likes of enduro, cross country, where you're going to be doing a lot of days climbing. A pre-curved soft shell knee pad, made up of ballistic nylon, airprane and lycra. They're pretty hard wearing, still flexible enough to stay comfortable on big days out. The pads are secured by a hook and loop strap here at the top, and then on the lower you have this lycra panel here. The back is left open for ventilation, stop bunching up, irritating the back of your knee. So one of the main points for me with these ones was the actual fitting themselves. These are the large size. One of the issues I've always had getting knee pads was the actual fitting on the bottom around the calf. The top part fit perfect up around the thigh, above the knee. Bottom sometimes be very restricting around the calf, or if you got one that fit on the calf perfect, it was too loose up, no matter how much I tightened this velcro strap, or you'd have a load of hanging out that was rubbing against your leg. So for me, that was the big seller on these ones. As for performance, I've got no complaints. They stay in place like they're supposed to. Some of the heavier pads I've had, more heavy duty pads I've had, they kind of slide down, move around, rubbing off the crossbar. These ones here, no problem at all. No bunching, pinching at the back sides. All day long, I could wear these all day long, no problem. I've done 40-50k straight wearing these, not taking them off. Breathable with minimal sweat. As I said, no irritation from that either. Now, this is what I mean when I say that knee pads are probably the most important piece of kit next to a helmet. It's also one of the main factors that draws me to the soft shell knee pad. That also led me to buy these ones here. So a few years back, I was out on the trail with one of my mates and I took a bad crash, and what actually happened was, came off the bike and a sharp rock basically went into the front of the knee pad, cracked through. Now these were hard shell knee pads. I thought maximum security, I'm going to be fine. But the rock went into the knee pads, cracked through the shell, pierced through and pulled the knee pad down off my knee. So as I'm sliding along the ground, my knee's still getting pretty cut up. I got back up. Luckily I was able to brush myself off, get myself home. Thought there was more a bit of damaged pride more than anything, but once everything had kind of cooled down, I realised there was a lot more damage than I thought, and ended up being a good month before I was even able to walk properly again, never mind actually get on a bike. That took some time before I didn't have any trouble with my leg or my knee. So after that I went out and I bought these ones here. These are the soft shell version, exactly like these ones here. One of the main reasons for that was I just feel myself that the soft shell, as much as they're not as hard and they don't seem like they're going to take as much impact as a hard shell, I just feel that these aren't going to pierce as easy. They're not going to crack. The fact that they're flexible, as I've said, I've taken a fair few crashes with them and they've always stayed in place. They've never let me down. The other ones, straight in the bin, kind of turned me off hard shell knee pads for life. Maybe, you know, if I'm going to spend a couple of hundred, I'd look at knee pads then, but these ones here, say for €50, I'm very happy with them. They do exactly what I need. But yeah, in fairness to the pads that I was wearing at the time, if I hadn't been wearing them, the damage would have been a hell of a lot worse. So that's really what's influenced me on the soft shell pads. Just a bit of advice for anyone out there who doesn't think pads are necessary. When I first started going to bike parks, I never bothered with them. The only reason I eventually did buy pads was purely I saw them for cheap and said may as well give them a try. And yeah, it was only a couple of weeks later that I said, right, you know, that was well worth the money. But it kind of made me look more into the knee pads. So again, Sixsixone Protection, they're very good, sturdy brand, got a great reputation. They are worth the money you pay for them. You know, there are other versions. There's the Sixsixone Evo, which would be a next step up. Again, I haven't used them myself, but again, it's one of the main factors that led me to these ones. Any crashes stayed in place, done exactly what they're supposed to. Plenty of ventilation. You know, you've got lycra on the back, mesh on the sides, the whole open back knee. So that's me with the Sixsixone Comp all-mountain knee pads. I highly recommend them, especially for someone starting out, someone doing enduros, cross country. I'll be using them for foreseeable future anyway. So thanks for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe for new videos. A few more products, not just Sixsixone, that I'm going to be doing reviews on. I'll also be uploading a couple of other videos later on. So yeah, thanks for watching.